Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, yesterday we showed you how to create a blur effect on mouse over with a slider. Today we've taken it one step further and we're doing it automatically. As you can see, these slides are coming in. They're coming in blurred with the background image blurred like that. Over time it's fading in, and just before the next slide comes up, it's going from blurred to crystal clear. Obviously, you can change these timings to suit yourself. Really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder. And let's get rid of this whole section here. We'll start from scratch. Like I say, I'll start from scratch for the benefit that anybody didn't see the other videos. I'm going to build exactly the same slider. I've got a section here. It's prompting me to put in a row. I'm going to put in a single column for my row. I'm going to use a slider. Of course, we could have used a full width one, but it's a good idea to know how to make a row full width. It's great. We'll do that right now. Let's make our row full width. So we've got a large slider here. I'm going to save the changes on my slider. I'm going to go up to my section. I'm going to take away any padding top and bottom so we don't have a gap top and bottom. So I'm in the section, going to design, and spacing is always where you'll find margin and padding. I'm going to put a 0 in the top. It'll put the picks in for us, and we'll hit the chain so it does the bottom as well. Got a little bit of spacing there. That's left on our row. So if we go into the row now, the green tab, exactly the same thing, over to design and spacing. Going to put a 0 in there, hit the chain. Great, we've got it butted up against our top header and our footer at the bottom there. Great. Let's make this thing full width. While we're in the row, we can close that spacing. Just above it, we've got sizing to make this full width. I'm going to drag it to 100%. I'm going to copy that, Control-C. I'm going to paste it in the max width down below, or you can just type it in. We've now got a full width slider there. Perfect. Let's save those changes. I'm going to go into my little slider here. Just click on it. Dark tab for the module itself, which is the slider. I want my text to be on the left-hand side. So I'm going to go into the text. I'm going to bang it on the left there. I'm going to leave it just like it is. I think I will go into that title text by just hitting the pencil. I'm just going to capitalize it. Make it a little bit heavier. Do semi-bold. That'll work. Great. Well, while we're in this slide, let's make this slide the way we want it. We'll just duplicate it so we've got 3. Very simple slider. Obviously, you can make as many as you want on yours. So I'm going to go into the slide. Let's give it its own image background. Background's always under content. Third tab across. Background image. Let's throw this fella in. Fantastic. I'm happy with everything on my slides here. Let's save our first slide. It'll take us back to the main slider settings. I'm going to duplicate this a couple of times. I'm going to go into the second one. All I'm going to change out is the background image. Obviously, you'd have different titles and links for your button and things like that. Incidentally, for anybody that didn't see, under content, you can link your button to wherever you want to take people right here. And you can also link the whole module to go somewhere by putting a link in there. Always best practice. If you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking offsite to somebody else's site, open it in a new tab. That way your site's going to stay open. Great. Well, we were working on the background for this one. Let's put a new image in. And I think we used that person. We'll save that one. Back to our main slider settings. Number 3 now. I'm just going to change out that background image once more. And let's put that young lady in. Okay, we've got our 3 slides. I won't automate it just now. Let's do our little bit of coding to make the blur effect happen. And to do that, we'll save our settings. So we're in the main slider settings. We're going to go over to our advanced. Down to the custom CSS. We will use the freeform CSS tab for this today. And let's just save this a moment. I need to inspect the things that I want to target with my code here. So I'm going to save draft. We'll exit. It's a static slider at the moment, but I just want to right click on here and inspect. I'm using Google Chrome with the inspector tools. Most browsers have this nowadays, but if yours doesn't, Chrome's a free download. As long as you've got elements one side, we'll have HTML. As long as we've got styles the other side, we'll have CSS code over here. We roll up here. That's the bit we want to target, but we've got some extra bits either side, which is padding. So I'm going to copy this class name ETPP container. Wherever there's a gap, that's a new class name right there. So I just need the first bit. Control C to copy that. We'll come back here. We'll probably need to fix this in a minute. I'm going to enable the visual builder in a new tab by middle mousing on it. Let's go back into our little slider module here. Back to our advanced and custom CSS. I want to select this whole slider, so I'm going to say selector. Then I'm going to paste in that class name I just copied because we want to target that particularly. Now we can open and close some curly brackets. Or we can tell it what we want it to do. Well, I want to put a dot in front of that for a start because it's a class name. All class names should have a dot or a period in front. Now I'm going to tell it I want an animation, colon. We'll give it a name. I'm going to call it imagebl for image blur. I'm going to run mine for 7 seconds. I want it to keep on going and going, so I want it to be infinite. And I want it to be linear, so it'll be nice and smooth. Great. Well, let's create that animation we called image blur, or image BL in my case. I'm going to copy that. And if we drop down, we're using keyframes to build this today, so I'm going to say at keyframes. Then the name. Then we can open and close some more curly brackets. Decide what we want to do during our 7-second period up here. Well, I want to blur that background out. Initially, I want it to be very blurred, and then I want to bring it back in over our 7 seconds. So initially, when the page loads at 0%, so open and close some more curly brackets. I'm going to use the same filter as we used yesterday, which is the backdrop filter. It may throw up a flag, but it works on every browser I've tested it on. That's Safari, Brave, Edge, Firefox, and Chrome. Backdrop filter, colon. And we're going to use blur, B-L-U-R, right at the end. I'm going to put some round black brackets. And I want it to be very blurred initially. So let's say 25 pixels. The higher the pixel level, the more blurred it's going to be. That's working fine. You can blur it out more than that if you wanted to. That's what I used on my last one. Even more blurred, that's fine. Now I'm going to copy this from the curly bracket at the end there to the 0. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to say perhaps at 30% I want it to start coming back in. So let's change that 0 to 30%. Let's just roll down a little bit. Still going to leave it blurred like that. But I'm going to copy that one more time. It's still in our clipboard. I'm going to drop down one more. There's that flag I was telling you about. But as you can see, it's working fine. Now we're going to say perhaps 80%. I want it to be crystal. So if we put a 0 back in there, no blur whatsoever, it'll be crystal after 80% of our 7 seconds. And it'll stay like that till it gets to the end. And it'll start again. Now remember, we've done this over a 7-second time period. So that's what we also want to do when we change our slides. We automate this. We'll have them sliding every 7 seconds. So it'll sync up with our little filter here. Now we've got a bit of trouble. We've got that area from side to side. We can fix that quite easily by giving a bit of padding left. I'm going to push this over. We need to add a little bit of CSS before our keyframes there. We need to target the slide itself. I inspected this earlier, so it's ET_PB_slide. And we want to take any padding away from there. And don't worry, I'll put this code down below the video for anybody that needs to copy and paste it. Padding 0. That sorted that out there. But we may need to add a little bit more padding up here just to counter that. So say 10%. So after our little inverted comma there, I can say padding left, padding dash left, colon. Let's use 10% and see what happens. Let's push it back over here a little bit, which is fine. Well, that seems to be doing its animation from blurred. It's coming in slowly, nicely crisp there for the last couple of seconds. And if you want it to come in before last couple of seconds, let's take it down to maybe 70%. And I'll keep the blur from 0 to perhaps 20%. It'll give it more clear at the end there before it rolls around, as you can see. Well, great. Let's go back to our design now. We'll animate this thing. Make sure you're in the main slider settings. In the design tab down the bottom, you'll find animation. I'm going to turn it on. By default, it does it for 7 seconds or 7,000 milliseconds, which is the same as we've set in our CSS for our animation there. If you want to make it quicker, change it here, but also change it in your animation so they sync up. And to make sure they stay synced up, I'm going to turn this little switch from off to on, because when they put their mouse on it, usually it would stop it. And we don't want them stopping it because it'll unsync the animation and the frame rate on the actual slide itself, if that makes sense. So if we've done everything correctly here, we should be good to go. Let's save our changes. We'll save our page changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the visual builder. There's our first slide. It's blurry. It's coming into clear, staying there. Next slide, starting off blurry. Again, taking 7 seconds. Last 3 seconds or so, going to be crystal clear. But you know how to change that with your code. And that's a really nice little feature. People are looking at their little slider on your phone or your tablet, and this sort of thing happens. It's going to get their attention pretty quickly and get their eyes on whatever it is you're trying to get them to get their eyes on here. And of course, they can click on the button, read it, whatever. But remember, with this particular feature, I've turned off the feature that stops it rotating when you put the mouse on it. So it's going to continue spinning every 7 seconds regardlessly. But that's a nice little feature right there. So there you go, guys. There is how to add an automated blur effect to your slider. Very easy, as you can see. Don't forget, I'll put the code down below for anybody who wants to just copy and paste it. You're welcome to. Anybody makes anything with this, please drop the link down below. We'd love to take a look at it and share it. And don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them down there below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make another little demo video like this one. Or once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.